Well, it's finally that time of year again. Halloween! Yes, I know my costume looks a bit silly. Forget about that. It's supposed to be doing this, but I mean, sure, Christmas is cool, and yeah, you get chocolate on Easter, but it isn't until Halloween when people actually put the effort to put on costumes and walk around and get sweets. I mean, whatever gives my parents a chance to cosplay is alright by me. So, to celebrate my favourite day of the year, let's count down the top 10 scariest enemies in video games. And it turns out I wrote and scripted this entire list before realising that PBG has already done this video. I mean, he's already done this idea, so... I mean, I've already bought the stupid, crummy-looking costume and all the decorations, so... I mean, it wasn't cheap either. So, I mean, it's too late now, so... Oh well, on with the list! First up on the list is a not-so-scary game, Batman Arkham Asylum. Actually, now that I think about it, I guess it is a pretty creepy game. The insane inmates are pretty scary, especially when they jump on your back. The way the Scarecrow looks with his big hands are pretty creepy. Plus, there's a graveyard. I mean, that counts, doesn't it? What's scarier than a graveyard? But one part of the game in particular that I used to have a pretty hard time with was Killer Croc's lair. This is the part of the game where you have to delve into Killer Croc's home to find some spore samples to create an antidote that you need in the later stages of the game. But every now and then, Killer Croc will suddenly leap out of the water, scare the crap out of you, sprint at you and kill you. And in that time you need to turn around and throw a batarang at his face so he falls back into the water, otherwise he gets you and kills you and it's scary. And like that wasn't already bad enough, every time he jumps out of the water, the music ramps up and it scares the crap out of me every single time. It's even worse when he could be coming from many different directions and you don't know where to look. It's okay. It's okay. He's just a big, scaly, alligator, crocodile, reptilian man. Alligator man. Oh god, where is he? Oh god, I hear him. Where is he? Oh god. Oh man. Woo! God. It might not sound like much, and honestly, it doesn't really scare me much anymore. But this part of the game made me panic like crazy back when it was new.
Crap, there he is. Oh crap! Oh my god!
Oh yeah, we're getting really creepy now. If you're below the age of 18, I highly suggest you stop watching now, lest you have nightmares for weeks. You have been warned. Next up on the list is a boss from Toy Story 2 on the PS1. A surprisingly awesome movie tie-in game. The boss in question being the dustbin monster on the level Slime Time. This guy used to scare me so much, it took me years to find the courage to beat him myself. I actually had to get my mum to defeat him for me. Now that is pathetic. Looking at him now though, he's actually a pretty cool boss, even if he does seem incredibly out of place. Alright, so not only are talking toys a reality in this universe, but sentient green goo. Okay, talking toys I can believe, but this is getting pretty silly. Rugrats Search for Reptar is the last game you would ever expect to be scary, at least for a 5-year-old like me. But there's one level in the game that for some strange reason takes place at night, and you have to look for the dog Spike.
Yeah, Spiky!
Except, Ghost. Why? Who the hell thought this was a good idea? For a kid's game. Ghosts that not only chase you around the house, but say Oogie Boogie Boogie. I remember when I was coming up with ideas for this list, and I looked up gameplay for this level thinking, how scary can the ghosts be? Really? It's Rugrats. Rugrats can't scare me. Honestly, seeing that face again creeped me out. And I'm 18 years old. I'm technically a certified adult, and I'm scared of a ghost in Rugrats Search for Reptar. The game itself is pretty creepy as it is. Everything just has an eerie, polygonal look to it, so this really does not help at all. Whoever came up with this idea, Shame on you. Gregory Horror Show. Despite this being one of my favourite games, I've never met a single person that's heard of it. I've always wanted to do a separate video talking about Gregory Horror Show. Maybe I'll save that for next Halloween or something, but I don't have time to explain it here. Bottom line, you're trapped in a hotel which is more or less purgatory. Unluckier still, everyone else in the hotel is an arse and wants you dead. Well, they may or may not have a good reason to want you dead, but like I said, long story. To put it simply, Gregory Horror Show is Amnesia for kids before Amnesia was ever around. Each and every guest in the hotel kind of acts as a boss of sorts, and all of them are carrying something you need in order to escape the hotel. If one of the guests of the hotel catch you out of your room after you've defeated them, they chase you all over the hotel. Keeping in mind that Gregory House is a pretty big place, and the only safe zone is your room, this is how it usually goes down. I remember one time, one of the characters made me jump so much that I couldn't play the game again for years. It isn't really a scary game as much as it is a panicky game. It's actually one of the best games I've ever played, but oh man, it has its moments. Unfortunately though, Gregory Horror Show was only ever released in Japan and Europe, but if you ever get the chance to import a PS2, do it just for this game alone. It really is that good. I know, it's an obvious choice. While I have to admit this game may be a little bit overplayed by this point, and frankly kind of overrated, I can't deny how scared I get while playing this game. One of the things I love most about Slender is just how simplistic it is. Complete this mission before the monster gets you. And that's it. Not even for a second does it bother with story, cutscenes, not even an ending. It's a game of tag to the extreme. I've heard a lot of people criticise this game because Slender Man isn't scary, he looks like a beanbag with legs. But honestly, that's exactly why I find him scary. Poor graphics in particular have always been really creepy to me. The whole idea of horror is fear of the unknown, unfamiliar territory, not clean and polished AAA plus perfect graphics. Jim Sterling over at Jimquisition has done a whole episode on this subject. It's seriously really interesting stuff.
It looks slightly shit, and slightly shit is what really sells horror.
Not only is it his beanbag on legs look, but the way you can just see him in the distance, staring at you. There's no rush. You won't win. In due time. Soon is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, while Slender Man from Slender might be an obvious choice for this list, there's a good reason why it's so obvious. Because it's scary. Whoa! Where'd it go?
Oh, he has actually gone. Oh, no.
Half-Life 2, what a great game. So nice looking and cool and fun and happy. Most of all, happy. I like to play Half-Life 2 when I want to be happy and relaxed and not scared. Most definitely not scared. Wait, what's this? Ravenholm? Huh. What is that? Oh, what is that? Oh no, what is that? Oh, what is that thing? What is that right there? What is that? I was gonna put the poison head crab on this list, seeing as they do scare me quite a bit, but in the end I decided to put the poison zombie on this list instead, seeing as they walk around the level throwing poison head crabs at you. Not only is it how strong they are, how fast they are, the way they run, leap through the air, the noise they make, the way their legs look, but they're just so horrible. I've seen people on the internet before who not only find these things cute, but want to have one as a pet. I have no idea what makes people think of these guys as pet material, but to me they're just scary and I don't like them. Whenever I'm playing Half-Life 2 and notice one of these guys, I go from having a relaxing time playing video games to sheer panic. I don't know how to end this segment, so here's a picture I drawn a long while ago with Gordon Freeman walking his pet head crab. Yay. It wasn't until I tried playing BioShock Infinite in 1999 mode when I truly realised just how terrifying the motorized patriots are. It isn't even the way they look, even though they do look pretty creepy, but the way they just seem so determined to kill you. Like they've got somewhere to be and they just want to get it over with. The way they sprint towards you, cranking their stupid gun like a maniac. Like they've waited their entire life just to kill you and they finally get their chance. Just the thought that these presidential Chuck E. Cheese knockoffs turned wielded weapons could be round every corner is terrifying. I don't even feel like I need to explain myself here. I mean, it's obvious to see why they're so scary. I mean, they're just so resilient in their... They're just so big and lifeless and patriotic. Resident Evil 4 is just as awesome as it is scary, and it's pretty awesome. I was gonna put the chainsaw guy on this list, seeing as every time he's on screen I panic like crazy, but no. There's one enemy in this game that makes me panic even more. The blind guys. Resident Evil 4 blind monster. What are they actually called? Garage door? The garage doors from Resident Evil 4. As the name I gave them sorta kind of implies, they're directed entirely by sound. Using this to manipulate them into death is how Leon can progress through the game. But when you're trapped in a tiny cage with one, yeah, it's not fun at all. As this list gets closer to number 1, I kinda feel like these explanations as to why they're so scary should be getting longer, but they're actually getting shorter as they go along. Maybe because it's becoming a little bit more obvious as to why they're so scary. Resident Evil 4, showing you the enemies don't need sight to scare you. I could have worded that a bit better, but I won't. On to the next one. Let's go. Gosh darn it, aren't the Fallout games amazing? So amazing. Sure, sometimes the game feels not too polished around the edges, but it's a fantastic series nonetheless. Except for the Deathclaws. Just kidding, you thought I was gonna put the Deathclaws on this list? No, that's too predictable. I'm not scared of stupid Deathclaws. Okay, I mean, I guess they are kind of scary, Jesus. But I am way more scared by the Rad Scorpions. While I can't deny that the Deathclaws are pretty scary, they're more annoying to me. Oh, they've made me jump on more than one occasion, but I never usually get close enough to them for them to become scary. Rad Scorpions are a different story. Even the small bark scorpions have that horrible, horrible face. Look at that face. Oh my god. God, I get freaked out just looking at it. Oh god. There have been times in the past when I was playing Fallout, and as soon as I notice a giant rad scorpion off in the distance, I instinctively have to pause the game. I have to mentally recover from seeing one. And it's like Bethesda knows I hate them. You don't ever see a giant mole rat or a giant bloody feral ghoul. But yeah, we have room for an albino rad scorpion, queen rad scorpion, bark rad scorpion. Sure, come on in. Rad scorpions are horrible. They're just horrible. Here's a clip of me getting scared by them back when I used to do LPs.
I don't know what this does, but I'm just gonna use it. Okay, it's not the right kind of gun. Okay, I'm just gonna run. I think it'd be better if I just ran, because you know what? I don't really wanna get involved with 3 rad scorpions. You're still chasing me. Yep. Well, one of you is. The determined one of the group is still chasing me, and does it look like you're about to stop? And there are loads more rad scorpions up there. Okay, I'm running this way instead. I'm going this way.
Put your hand up if you knew this was coming. I thought so. Quite predictably, the number 1 spot on my list goes to Amnesia, with the scariest enemy being all of them. I was gonna put the suitors from Justine at number 1, but then that's when I remembered PBG did the same thing, so I didn't really feel like I could do that. But then that's when I realised that they're all pretty scary. Even after all these custom stories of getting used to old Flabbyjaw over here, I'm still no less scared of him than I was on my first playthrough of the game. Same with Mr. Creaky Arm, the suitors, and yeah, even the pig. I think we can all agree that A Machine for Pigs wasn't quite as scary as The Dark Descent, but it's still an Amnesia game to me. What is it about Amnesia's monsters that ensures that they'll never not be scary? Is it the way that the main character is so defenseless against them? Is it the way that they were built up in The Dark Descent that leaves a mark on them, even into the custom stories? I don't know, and honestly, I like that mystery. How they're scary, why they're scary, even who these guys are, I'm not too sure about. Whatever the reason, as long as people are still making great custom stories for Amnesia, I know I'll still be playing them in 5, maybe even 10 years time, and I can say for sure that I will still be scared. And you know what, while we're at it, let's throw in the dog from Penumbra as well. It's the same developer, same kind of game. If a game can succeed in making me terrified of a cute little dog, then that's a job well done. And so that pretty much wraps up my list of the top 10 scariest enemies in video games. Sure, maybe some of the choices were a little bit obvious, but hey, if I get scared by them, they gotta go on the list. I don't get to choose what I get scared by. So, that's the end of the video. I didn't really have anything planned for this, you know, ending sketch, but seeing as I got a pretty cool camera to use and I kind of got all this sorted out, I thought, might as well record another thing. Maybe I don't know. I got an idea. I'm going to use my cape I'm going to exit the scene with my cape. Check this out. It's going to be well good. Did it work? They did have a white face, didn't they?
Just dead pasty, wasn't I? Can't stick one out in daylight, so.
Oh yeah. I mean, neither do I.